So if you're like me, then the life of flying and going places involves lots of flights on Ryanair, Wizz Air. You don't have the money to get these nice first class experiences that you're always seeing celebrities and everything else go on. I always thought that wasn't possible, and up till recently I never bothered even saving Avios points or any sort of air miles at all, because I thought, well, I don't fly British Airways, so I can't actually earn enough to ever get big discounts off of flights, and I'm a student, so I can't exactly go and get all these credit cards that give you X amount of miles when you sign up. I want to show you guys that even without flying on British Airways and without using credit cards, you can build up a lot of Avios points and get yourself some serious discounts when it comes to flying economy with British Airways, or even saving up your points and flying either business or first class. So first of all, what are Avios points? So Avios points are sort of the air mile equivalent for British Airways, and you can literally earn them in a ton of different ways. So it's important to note that no matter how many Avios points you earn, a flight is never going to be free. You can use your Avios points to cover the cost of British Airways flying, but within that ticket that you don't normally see are a load of taxes. And so no matter how many Avios points you use towards a flight, you always have to pay some in cash for those taxes, and that's just the way it is. So BA have a service called Reward Flight Saver, which caps all taxes on flights below 2,000 miles to just £17.50. A YouTube channel called The Points Guy UK has done a much better video on this, but to break it down into simple terms for you, 4,000 Avios points plus £17.50 is enough for a one-way flight to places like Paris, Milan and Amsterdam. But like me, if you instead want to save up your Avios points for a big trip away and that first class or business class experience, 34,000 points and £27.50 is a one-way first class ticket from London to Moscow. Now that one's quite a short flight, and you can spend a few thousand more Avios to get slightly longer flights to places like Kuwait. But it goes to show, even if you don't want to save for that long and you only have a few thousand points, you can still use them to get super cheap flights with BA. So how can you get them? So first things first, the Avios e-store. The Avios e-store is brilliant, and you're going to start racking up hundreds and hundreds of points just from your everyday online spending. There's literally 1,200 retailers who partner with British Airways to offer you Avios points when you spend on their store. All you have to do to get these points when you make purchases with everyday retailers is to go onto the Avios e-store, follow through a specific link which tracks what you spend on that page, and then based on how much you spend on that website and how many points they've got as the offer at the time is how many Avios points will come into your account. You're always still shopping through the official website of the company you're buying from. It's just a cool little add-on to get you some more Avios points through everyday spending. The store literally has everything on it. It includes things like Booking.com, which is currently 8 Avios per pound spent on bookings with Booking.com. But they also have other things like Nike, Trainline, Domino's, various different car insurances. Whenever you change your energy or any sort of home bills in your house, you should always look through this store, because you could definitely build up thousands of points just from using specific comparison sites or shopping to certain brands that offer to give you extra Avios points. BA have made it even easier for you to collect Avios on your everyday spending. On Google Chrome, there's now an add-on similar to things like Honey. When you use search engines or go onto websites, it will pop up saying that you can earn Avios from this, and instead of going directly to the website, you should use the link on the Avios e-store. This is really helpful because sometimes when you're shopping around, you don't know that you could earn Avios. So next up is something called Rewards for Thoughts. Now this is an officially linked survey app service thing with British Airways that gives you Avios points every time you go through a survey and answer the questions for them. It's worth it just to sign up anyway, even if you then don't want to go on and do any of the surveys, and sitting there and answering questions for points could get just mind-numbingly boring. But nevertheless, sign up anyway and you can get yourself 600 free Avios points. Next up is make sure you link your payment cards. This is a new service launched from BA in the Avios store to allow you to collect points on your everyday spending on the high street and not just online. They're growing more and more brands that they're partnering with. All you have to do is link your card to your Avios account, and then it will pick up when you spend in those certain stores. So for example, 2 stores on there at the moment are Addon and the Fragrance Shop. Fragrance Shop would give you 5 Avios points per pound spent in store, and Addon is absolutely stonking deal at 10 Avios per pound you spend. Considering a cinema ticket is generally 10 quid these days, and some popcorn's probably a £5. It's an absolute rip-off. That's 150 Avios points just when you go to the movies on something you'd normally do anyway. Okay, so moving away from the Avios store and that sort of stuff itself, we next up have the Tesco Clubcard. The Tesco Clubcard scheme, if you live in the UK, you've probably heard of it. Tesco Clubcard gives you 1 point for every £1 you spend in store and 1 point for every £2 you spend on petrol. As you rack up these Clubcard points, you'll get sent vouchers which have an actual monetary value on the Clubcard store itself, and £2.50 of Clubcard vouchers gets you 600 Avios points. Now, unfortunately, Tesco currently aren't accepting applications for their current account. Again, not a credit card, a current account with them and their Tesco Bank service. This account gives you 1 Clubcard point for every £8 you spend in regular life. That's not currently open, just look out for that in the future. Okay, last but not least is a service called Rocket Miles. Now, you probably normally book your accommodation through things like booking.com or Airbnb. And as shown you before, you can get Avios points directly back for these just by shopping through the Avios store itself. But there's a service called Rocket Miles where you book hotels specifically for the reason of getting a ton of Avios points back. It's actually run by the same company as booking.com and Kayak and a ton of other different websites like that. But nevertheless, it currently gives you way more points than if you were to book the same hotels for the same price through the booking.com store, even at 8 Avios points per pound that the offer is at the moment. So it might be a different offer on screen, but the offer I found the other day was an £82 room at the So Paddington Hotel in London. It cost exactly the same on both Rocket Miles and Booking.com. Booking.com would have given me 656 Avios points back for booking that room, whereas booking on Rocket Miles would give you 1,000 Avios points back for booking that room. So that's it, guys. Hopefully you can see how easy it would be for you to start racking up these Avios points and getting cheap flights through the BA Avios Point service. I'm personally saving my Avios points so I can get the first class or business class experience. I haven't really decided yet, depends how long I can last out. Even in just the last month and a bit, I've managed to build up quite a few points using this method. But what's important to note is when you use things like the Avios eStore or Rocket Miles, the points don't instantly get credited to your account. Sometimes you have to wait up to 120 days, I've seen. Long story short, you'll have the points, they just might take a while to get there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and managed to find it helpful. I've got another video coming up in the future on how you can save money on your train tickets by donating clothes to charity. Again, really cool concept, can't wait to make a video on that one. So if you want to see that or any other videos I make, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Other than that, that's it from me, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day and I'll see you soon.